Welcome back to Tempo Control. The PlayStation Vita turned 4 years old in the United States this past week. It's a system that I love, and I wanted to talk about it. So, the top selling games for PlayStation Vita all time: number 1, unsurprisingly, Minecraft. Number 2, Uncharted Golden Abyss. And number 3, Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. Oh man, I guess that shows the power of the brand. Though the top 3 rated Metacritic games for PlayStation Vita: at number 1, Persona 4 Golden, number 2, Velocity 2X, and number 3, Spelunky. Now, those are some solid Vita games, alright. So why did the Vita, despite meaning life, fail and just die? Well, it has to do front and center with those memory cards, and my goodness, for it to be a proprietary Sony card instead of an SD card or a micro SD card, huge mistake that Nintendo really showed them how to do it properly. Now, when I got my 32 gigabyte card, I know they have 64, but a 32 gigabyte card, when I got it, it was like $80, and that was a deal. I can't even think of what the 64 gig would be, and the problem is that they didn't really decrease the price over time. So the memory cards made it a really high barrier of entry when people got the system and realized, what, there's more? Also, the mixed messaging was a big problem. I mean, it was at a time where Sony was still not totally focused on games and the gamer like they decided to do with PlayStation 4. So you had features like Nier, which is trying to copy 3DS's Street Pass. You had email apps on it for whatever reason, because, your phone apparently wasn't good enough. And you had the whole feature of the cellular network, the cellular and the Wi-Fi, or just the Wi-Fi. That whole announcement at E3 when the AT&T got resounding boos, it was kind of a problem, really, for the Vita, and that really isn't too surprising. But overall, it's the strength of games, and I think you're talking about that, user base that is pretty weak, and then Sony giving up, its first-party games. Yeah, sure, you did have Uncharted Golden Abyss, you had Gravity Rush, you had Tearaway, but it's kind of shocking that, Infamous missed the Vita, God of War missed the Vita, and remember that deal with BioShock on Vita? For that to fall through, that was kind of crushing. Though surely there had to be some successes with the Vita, and this is my favorite gaming handheld that I've ever played. I really enjoy playing on it more than I do my 3DS, to be honest, and for all the games I have on 3DS, that's kind of saying a lot. Persona 4 Golden, one of my favorite games of all time. I spent so long playing that. The Vita is a great piece of tech, and yeah, there are different shortcomings to it, of course, but the actual play experience on it I think it's unparalleled. Now, of course, the unified ecosystem for PlayStation really helped, the idea of the cross-buy and cross-play. I mean, you had remote play, which, works off and on again, but you see Nintendo probably going towards a future where you have kind of a unified ecosystem where you buy a game for one system, you can play it on the other, the handheld and console comparison there. And really that was done so well on Vita with so many games, and I really do appreciate it for that. The Vita isn't dead though in Japan. It still sells quite well there, so you'd think, why don't they come out with more games? Well, the Vita has kind of set itself as an indie machine, and so many indies like to flock to Vita, and it's a great place to play those indie games. I play also The Binding of Isaac Rebirth so often on PlayStation Vita, and really not on PC, because you can just take it anywhere, just sit down and play. A shame that they didn't get the Afterbirth update, but you know what? I'm not too fussed about that. Happy birthday, PlayStation Vita. I love you, but sadly, you're reaching the end of your time.